flex application. But that's what the basics means actually. Through setter and we are giving high dependency interface H, which means a dependency class as a parameter, and we are just mapping it to the local variable. And here is the usage of that. You are constructing an instance of my object class, and through setter method, which means through that property, and you are injecting the dependency class to your my object class. And third one is property injection, and this is very simple one. It even though there are three types of dependency injection, it all depends upon your application requirements. Sometimes you may need the usage of dependency class while constructing itself. So in that case, you go for the first one. And everything, it depends upon your application requirement. Here in property injection, you are just declaring a public property, and you are just mapping the dependency class to your public property through a simple construction, and then you are just mapping it over here. So there are actually so many features like I said earlier. Parsley framework is a vast, and I'll explain about these things while we look into the application working example, and I'll just give you a brief idea about these things. Messaging is nothing but event handlers. How the events are handled within the Parsley framework, how the event gets dispatched, how the listeners get listen to the events, and that will be Parsley provides a very good event model, which means using everything in Parsley framework can be achieved through the AS3 metadata annotations. And there are some things called message handlers and managed events in Parsley framework, and we look that while I show you code, you can understand that. There are something called managed handlers and message handlers and managed events, which means the dispatching class or dispatching object doesn't need to worry about the listener function, which means how the object will reach the destination. It doesn't need to worry about that. And the result will be automatically mapped through the dispatching function. And next thing is object lifecycle, which means there are another two metadata annotations in Parsley framework, that is init and destroy. What the init will do is it's something like your creation complete event in AS3, which means suppose you may want to construct your class only after the property is being configured. In that case, you can use this init constructor, unit metadata before a method declaration wherever you want. And what destroy would do is, I'm just I can show those things because I'll show it in the code. That's why I put the slides for that. And what destroy will do is, once the object is configured, while you are starting up your application, you have to configure your objects in the IOC container. Once if it is destroyed, when you feel that it is no need to be there in the common context builder, you can destroy it using that destroy annotations. And dynamic view wiring. What does it mean is, again, it takes away the old traditional method of giving the view methods inside the IOC container, which means whatever the view components would like to participate in the IOC model needs to be configured on the beginning itself. But in Parsley framework, this can be achieved in a different way, which means you can keep your view components wherever you want, like to achieve an MVC kind of pattern. And from that place itself, it can participate in the IOC model by using this dynamic view wiring, and that will be explained. And support for modular applications. Like I said, module applications, you can construct your applications using modules, and Parsley framework is an good, I would say, one of the best, not best, I think it is the only framework which supports for modular applications. And in all other things, you would achieve usually modular applications using MVC. And localization. Localization is nothing but objects binding and properties binding, and which can be again achieved through the AS3 metadata annotations. And extensibility. What does extensibility mean is, this is just a simple framework and they have developed. And this can be extended according to your knowledge and according to your application requirement. And Parsley is one of the best framework which can be extended easily. And so now we'll enter into the implementation of Parsley framework, and I'll explain you with an working example, that is image gallery application. It's a simple image gallery application, and which is taken from Joel Hoop's Parsley framework example. Joel Hoop's image gallery application, which was done using Parsley framework, and I've just changed it to get the resources, that is images from the local instead of from Flickr services. Yes, you can see this is the main file of this working example. I will just show you just run you the example, and after that we come to the code. This is what this example would be. It's a simple image gallery application. Even you don't need to go for any framework for this kind of application, but I'm just showing this application in order to understand Parsley framework in a simple manner. Here's the code. As you can see, in the added to stage of the application, there's a method called, and it's dispatching event configure IOC, which means you are instantiating the IOC container. There are three important things while you are building an application using Parsley framework. The first one is, tell the IOC container what are the classes that it's supposed to take care of.